Hold on.
Good brunchin', a good brunchin', a good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. 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 Everybody, good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. Everybody, good brunchin'. You are tuned into the Good Brunchin Podcast. Good Brunchin.
A good brunchin'. A good brunchin'.
Good brunching, good brunching.
People, good brunchin'. We are back. It is Tuesday, and we are back with your favorite brunchin' crew. Shout out to everybody on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. We appreciate y'all tuning in. But it's your boy, Bill the Billionaire, and I don't do this alone. You know we do this with none other than Tamika Royale and my man Ace Brown, y'all. What's good?
What up, though?
Hi,
What's
everybody.
good with y'all? Happy Tuesday.
Ain't
Happy Taco Tuesday.
See, we always got to rep them damn tacos.
I think I have cracked the code
Which code?
on the baldy, man. For a while, I was using clippers. And once again, anything that goes wrong with my baldy, I blame Tamika, Bill, and Cash. I was fine with having a regular behind low cut, cutting it as low as I could, and the three of them just said, cut it off. Cut it off. What are you holding on?
Because you had the sunroof up and the windows up on the side, man. You know what I'm saying? Do the whole
Pulled
take
up
it
to
off.
the scene with my ceiling missing. Pull up to the nah.
No, you know how the new cars got the whole car sunroof.
Yeah,
You had like you don't have the whole moon. You got the little moon roof. Like so,
You have the big sushi. You
at
know
this
they got the
point,
big
just take-
sushi, and the white is just that strip of lobster.
So I was cutting it low, and then I bought like the
did we lose him?
scam calls. My bad. I had bought like a razor joint and got that, and then all of a sudden I found this thing called Magic Shave back in 19 blankety blank when it was found. And
Back in 19.
Not the blankety blank. Not the blankety blank.
Yeah, it's like near for bald heads. I've been using it and come on now, it's shining. It's shining.
Hey.
Oh, make a wish. Make a wish.
Shining.
Where's my nieces? They need to come make a wish right now. They need to rub it and make a wish.
Everybody, but Zori hates it. Zori, but let it grow. I'm like, nah.
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I can't unsee it. We gotta see like
no
this
respect
forever.
for her father.
Well, the thing is, Zori knows that I would allow her to like, cause she's seen pictures of me when I had braids, so she get back, cause she wants to learn how to braid, so she know I'll let her braid my hair if I had hair.
No, you don't have hair. Like I just look. I just want to let you know you don't have like it got to a point where I don't know if y'all remember we had one of the episodes. Ace came on here before the show. Ace was in the mirror in the bathroom, like, yep, think I got it. I found a new device. Went on the TikTok shop.
TikTok shop.
I think he might even have a video or reel of him sitting there. Yo, shout out to the TikTok shop. Ace be out here getting endorsements and everything. So I'm like, yo, Ace had that joint, and I'm like, so now Ace said he's found it again. Ace said he's found the code again because he had it before with TikTok shop.
I blend the two now. So
I was so just cross branding.
Yeah, I was just that. I didn't, and then all of a sudden I was like, yo,
what's going on?
I'm still feeling the stubs. I'm like, what's going on? I'm still feeling the stubs. And then after that, you know, I went in there. I was like, yo, let me find out what this magic shave is about. And that's it.
So we can have a talk right now, okay? We can have a talk. It just hits my head. And it could be the Lord's flower, but it's funny. And we're here today. We're winging it. We're gonna talk about some things. But this right here is we listen and we don't judge.
Oh
and
shit!
and when Ace
I'm
said it,
scared. Oh,
no.
okay.
When Ace said this, it just reminded me of something because I don't shave my head or anything, so I don't have no stubs. I don't, I get on the hair, have some. But then I just had a moment like, Ace, when you manscape, and after you manscape, like it's clean, but you ain't got that
Then you got that
shade, that razor smooth baby's bottom. You know what I'm saying? So I know what you mean. Cause shout out to what's the joint called? Daggone, they text me all the what's the guy? The Clippers for the men. What's that joint called?
Manscaped.
Manscaped. Shout out to Manscaped. When they send them because Manscaped, man, y'all did some wonders. And then I was like, yo, this joint ain't hitting. Huh?
Do you have them?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to get them because what I just use like the cheaper, the ones that's like, how it come like in a little small pack or whatever. And I'm like, all right, these ain't cheap, but you won't use them on your face or whatever. You know what I mean? They're not.
Those joints don't do that, man.
I got like the T-liner for my face. I got like
I thought you was out here shaping yourself with a T-liner
on my face. So the one that they try to advertise in Walmart, get it for your face and all of that. I use that for the Manscaped. But I heard, nah, ain't nothing like.
You got to do it because these joints, I know this is crazy. These joints are made for balls. You know what I'm saying? Like you're good. You got to take care of yourself. And then I ain't front. I do like a clean razor though, like a nice razor on there. And clean because it's just a smooth. Something about that smooth. So I'm happy that you found something for your head. That sounds crazy. It's crazy right now.
I'm wishing on a star.
But look, I'm sitting here right now, Ace. Just had this whole conversation. Look to see who's on the live, and Mom is in the daggone chat. So Mom just heard me talking about shaving my balls.
Where's the mine?
My mom. So hey, Mom. Just want to let you know what I got going on.
This is what we need to do with both our moms because we consider the other one's mom our mom too. So
that is hilarious.
For mothers, y'all gotta let us know when y'all gonna come on, so we won't talk about the things that we got talking about. We don't need.
First of all, your mom used to wipe yours all the time, so she ain't worried about it.
Now my mom over here laughing, but listen, look, my daughter ain't like it used to be. She wiped the small balls. No, pause.
Exactly. She ain't wiping what I got right now.
Oh my God.
She ain't wiping what I got right now. Come on. Well,
she ain't wiping what I got right now. Look. I love my mom. Shout out to my mom in the chat. It gets different.
Hey, Mama Bill.
You ever have a conversation? Listen, we listen and we don't judge. You ever have a conversation where like one of your parents asks you a question? Was that like my mother came to me telling something? What's hymns? I said, what the fuck?
No, your mom asked you about hymns? No. Yo, my mom is enjoying herself. She's in Atlantic City now in the comments just laughing. So this is just, I'm great. This is great. I'm happy with me and my mom are getting real close right now. But why
I need to know how you answered that question.
Yeah, how did you answer that?
I was like, him is a pronoun. And I walked off.
Yes, Dawn, it's an incense. That's an incense.
Yes, that's an incense.
No, she's talking about she's talking about with me. I got some nag chamba.
No, I think she was talking about what was hymns. I was about to say, it's an incense. Whatever you wanted to do.
So tell me, when your mom asked that, you usually like whatever you wanted. Like, what did you say to her?
Yeah, I just was like, it's a pronoun, and I walked off.
Yo, it's a pronoun. Yo, so what you need to do is gotta call Pops.
Yo,
you gotta call Pops, man.
That is crazy.
Like this. Everything I had at home, man. Oh. Everybody waking up? How they need to wake up?
Right? Because how she got there?
No,
how you went? Mom, what led you to that direction?
Late because she had to see the packet, so it's there already.
Oh, your dad got it. Pops got it.
It gotta be because otherwise.
Nah, they got no. Let me tell you something. They are out here now, like in competition, not just on Instagram. On social media of all these male enhancement joints, and I'm telling you, they out there. All right, they out there. That they got the Rhino pills at the gas station. If you ain't got that, they got
the pink horse. You got Cameron's pink horse
juice. Cameron. You got the honey packs. Chicks is putting honey packs in their drinks now.
Listen, if y'all need help when it comes to your ED, just take herbal shots. go to a juice bar, go to a herbal shop, and take herbal liquor. Herbal liquor is natural. It
But
helps
who got
men.
time? But who got time, me? You gonna sit here? You got.
Everybody, you
Let's
make
just say you
if
don't
you
know. You
can
don't know
make
you gonna get some.
time.
Wait.
If you
You don't know
come.
you gonna get. You don't know you gonna get some. We out. You
But
don't know you gonna get some.
you're not supposed to drink that only when you
You
get
talking
something.
about supposed to
It's
take that every
if
Oh, you
you're
day.
talking about to build
having
up in your system? You
if
saying to build up in your system?
if you see that you're having that problem to where you can't last long or you're not getting hard, and even for the women, you're not getting wet or nothing is not happening, just take the Tiger Balm. Take Tiger Balm shots. You understand? You look up herbal liquor. Take the herbal liquor. Take a shot a day. Take shoot. Don't OD because of course you're gonna feel intoxicated after a while. But it's natural and it helps with it. So I'd rather take
Athena, good
you
brunching.
take it consistently than sit and take these enhancements that you don't know what the hell they had. That shit probably got fentanyl in it.
So are you saying that like
Yo,
I see
drugs.
like turmeric and like cayenne, not cayenne pepper. Is it another cayenne? Is it something else?
Cayenne pepper helps with a lot.
Yeah,
Turmeric,
they say
cayenne, all of that helps with a lot of stuff.
it gets the blood flowing
The
and all that.
flood for the
You
blood
just get
and
the blood flowing.
a lot of the problems when it comes to you when you can't, you're having trouble being intimate with who it is that you're intimate with is with your blood flow, the oxygen to your brain, all of that
You want to know what else
comes
it is?
together
Some of
with
y'all
all of
don't
that.
like that pussy. Let's just give it. Some of y'all don't even like it.
I
That's
was
it.
gonna keep that to myself because I
You
was
don't
trying to
know.
keep
Let's
it,
just be some of y'all just don't like it no more. You don't like that one, and it don't do it for you. Like you got different reactions, different people. You know what I mean?
Sea moss
And
is
then
really
I don't think,
good, and papaya seed.
and sometimes I don't think it's always or always okay. I can't get up and do whatever. It's one of those like, yo, she's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I got an extra 4 hours in me because you know what I mean. It's not always that because she might want to get 17 to 20. It was like, look, I'm good on this three. You know what I'm saying? I'm good on these three nuts. But hold on, let me go back. Dawn said, "You ain't gonna be in me taking no
Can't hear you,
gas station
Ace.
pills." She said, "You got to." She said, "You better take some sea moss."
That's what
Um,
I'm.
Athena, we talking about people taking like his Ace's mom asked him what are hymns, the male enhancement little stuff. No, we can't hear you, Ace.
Oh, shoot. Hold
Oh no,
on.
no, there you go, there you go, there you go.
Okay.
Okay, you back.
Yeah,
Yo,
so
I'm gonna have to get with me. We gonna have to make like a little drink.
yo, Ace over here. So Ace over here, like, yeah, because I'm about to get ahead and
What
go
you
in.
gotta
So,
do, I'll send you all the herbs you gotta get.
Yep.
You could get all of it in the supermarket and you make it like a tea and just
we
put it in the
clean.
refrigerator and take a shot.
See,
That's it.
that's what I'm saying. Because not, and I'm being real. We listen, we don't judge. Not for me,
Mm-hmm.
but this question has become, like Bill said, this is getting marketed crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's getting marketed. There is no reason why at 7 in the morning on the radio it's saying, get hymns
Are
and
you having ED problems? Go buy
Yeah.
Earth Eat It today.
right.
Yo, you can just pop it right under your
Promo code
tongue.
Hot 97.
At
Yo,
7 in the morning? Come on,
yeah.
man.
Now, well, people have sex in the morning.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying.
So I'm
7 in
just saying, just in case you
we
might
talk,
be in there.
but at 7 in the morning, while you dropping your kids off, we talking about hymns. Like there was certain you knew based on the commercial what time of night it was. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like some company
Now it don't
that
matter.
I just heard the 1-800 number. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Call me now at you like, oh yes, it's after 8. At
Yeah.
7 in
Mm-hmm.
the morning, they are
Mm-hmm.
sitting there telling some ever thought
Oh,
of being intimate, but you
simple
just
enough.
couldn't
What
perform?
they say, what they say about the people that drink during the day. They're like, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Five
You know what
o'clock.
I'm saying? So that's what it is. But people, listen. You already know if y'all want to go ahead and send us any topics, any things that y'all want to go ahead and do here. Y'all can send it to the Good Brunchin Podcast at gmail.com, and we'll get ahead and have your interactions. We're here on the show with us, and if you want to participate and come up live and
Yes, come
cam up with us,
join.
come join the
Come
conversation.
join.
Today's conversation, I think, it's gonna be a good conversation, and we kind of winging it, but we're gonna see. Hold on. Dawn said, "I drink a menopause tonic. It helps with
Mm-hmm.
hormones balance and it gives me a good cleaning. My lady parts are good and healthy. Look at me right, and I'ma get you. The cook you a pot of the beans. Yo, Dawn always cooking some beans. She if she gets you the beans, you look, you gonna get the business.
Tell
You
them,
gonna get the
boo.
Dawn is doing the thing. So look, we got our very own Tamika is going to open us up for today in our topic. Meek be trying to play the background, but we're not letting her do that today. So we're going to let her get us started in today's Winging It episode.
All
So, Meek,
right.
what we talking about today?
All right. So hold on. I gotta pick it up. You
I
know, I'm
got
on
you.
my phone.
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. We hear your voice. Your
So
lovely voice has got it for us.
the first thing I want to talk about today, my honey darlings, is healing but petty.
Mm,
Can you heal and grow but still be petty?
mm. Can you
So,
heal and grow and still be petty? How do you feel about that? Because I know, tutti la petty, so talk about it.
all day. So I do feel that with being petty, when you're petty is because you're reacting to something, right? And if you're reacting to something, I feel like you're still healing from whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
that you're reacting from. Now, if I could sit and be like, you know, I think it's more of a think it's more of how you react. Everybody has their own version of pettiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I feel like I'm petty when I'm doing some type of revenge type thing. Or
Mm-hmm.
if I know you're an asshole, I'm gonna be petty and be an asshole too. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're healed, you probably could still be a little petty, but is don't not in a negative way. Like I could sit in and if you're an asshole and instead of reacting like how I used to react, I'm just gonna react a different way because I
Mm-hmm.
know you're expecting me to react that way. So I'm gonna be petty and not react that way, if that makes sense. So I feel like it's all how you what you think is petty, what you feel is petty. And
And what type of
personally,
petty?
but me personally, I feel petty is a reaction to something that you haven't healed from.
I agree, and I think there's a level, and I agree. It's like when me and Ace go ahead and talk about it. Like jokes have some truth to them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm one of those people that Um, okay, so let me just go into the chat real quick. What if I just don't like the person no more? That's what Randy said. If you said good brunching. My mom said you're not growing if you're still petty.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you're definitely not growing if you're still petty. And like me, I'm one of those that in my growing process, I'm just gonna be petty because I'm gonna throw little jabs because I think I'm still hurt. I'm still hurt. I think the petty still comes from when you're still hurt. So when you still have that hurt, and then you're gonna throw them little jabs. But then sometimes it becomes jokes to it's petty, but it depends on how petty we be. So it's like because if you get petty, then it's like, yo, you
I just
really
don't push me to be petty.
okay.
If I'm healed to I know I've gotten to at many points in my life to where I said, Tuti, don't react to it because the way you're about to react to it is going to be petty. And petty is
Mm-hmm,
gonna make me look bad. You
mm-hmm,
understand? That's how I see it. But there's always we might always have I know I have a slick mouth. Like not a slick mouth. I'm very
say what you just said.
sarcastic.
Say what you just said.
It's not a slick. I'm very sarcastic. I could be very sarcastic, and that's one of my pettiness. My
Mm-hmm,
pettiness is the sarcastic, the very sarcastic, and I
mm-hmm,
have to sometimes go, "Oh, let me think
mm-hmm.
about it," because what I'm about to say is really petty, and I've healed from that, and I don't want to, open up nothing or start a thing. But yeah, no, don't be. You can't be petty is a
But see,
reaction, and it
I,
falls
I,
on
I
you, whoever's being petty.
and I feel like you said the pushing, right? People know when it comes to a situation what is gonna poke at something at
Mm-hmm.
somebody, right? And people know what's going to cause reaction. You know what I'm saying? What's going to cause a reaction to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they do certain things purposely, it's like you pushing me. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to let you do what you do. I'm trying to let whatever situation go. But by you doing something, it becomes a trigger now. And once I'm triggered, I'm King Petty, and you don't want me to go
Right.
ahead and get to that side. So I do feel if you feel you are being petty, then that becomes you need to pull yourself back from the situation because you're not healing, exactly the way you need to be healed. My mom said you have to be the better person sometimes and let things go. Yeah, that
I
sounds
agree.
good.
That's
I
the
agree.
hard part, though. That's the
That's the
hard
That's the
part.
hard part.
hardest part.
That's
And
the hard part.
that's the hard part. That's the hardest part of it all. But at the end of the day, that's like I'm always telling people, healing is not easy.
Hmm.
When you have to heal, that's not something that you just wake up, oh my God, the sun is out, I'm fully healed. No, the hell is not. And that's how we're going to get to the next topic. Healing is not easy. Healing is not something that could happen overnight. There's things, there's things that you're healing from that didn't just happen. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Some people, we go through so much stuff in our life, whether there's 20 years of trauma that your brain and your body has been programmed to be accustomed to, and while you're in your healing journey, you're trying to break out of that. So, as much as it's the hardest part of the healing journey, you got to be like, nah, I'm strong and be committed and consistent to it. So, if you know that you're in your healing journey and you're in that process and it's not easy and you can acknowledge that it's hard, you have to sit and fight through it. So, if you're still being petty but trying to say that you're healed, houseway,
Hmm. Yeah.
But
oh,
also another part of that too that I want to add on because you're correct with it is also understanding that it's not going to happen overnight. Being
Hmm.
okay with it not happening overnight. I think a lot of times when people are going through that journey, like you said, it's like working out. You know what I'm saying? People go ahead and say, "Well, I worked out. I worked out today. Why didn't I lose the pounds yet?" You know what I mean?
Hmm.
mm-hmm,
When it comes to healing and being petty, like, yeah, you're gonna still have those petty moments because this is how your brain has been wired for the last 5 years or 10 years. So you got to be even patient with yourself to say it's okay for me to drift back sometimes. Now I do agree with moms, like mom said, like you got to be able to separate yourself and get better, and look at the end goal. So look at the summer body, as we say when it comes to
Hmm.
working out, looking at the summer body, but sometimes not beating yourself up so much that you're like, oh man, I skipped workout today, or in this instance, I was petty over that situation. I'm back to being where I used to be. Nah, don't beat
Hmm.
yourself up.
Yeah. What's the name? Said if you know, you know. Said he said you learn so much. You learn so much, and I think he's man. You learn so much during your healing process. Yeah, I think during
mm-hmm.
the healing process is definitely
You
um,
learn, you
you learn.
learn.
You definitely learn through that person, and I feel like the healing process is it's about growing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have days, and like I think you're gonna go into your next one. So I'll let you go, but you're gonna have days
Mm-hmm.
that you're good. You're good. That person is not on your mind. That person is not affecting you. Nothing. It's causing you nothing. And then you have a day that it's back. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta look at it in that way. But what's the next one, man?
So, do you believe your outer mess, meaning the way your life is and your reality, the mess that you're having now, do you feel you're going through that because you're holding on to childhood trauma?
Mm. You gotta unmute yourself, Ace.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say yeah and no. It depends on the circumstance, and the reason why I say that is
Mm-hmm.
because if your outer mess right now can be something that can be related to your childhood trauma, then yes. But some of our outer mess is adult trauma. Some of our outer mess is adult trauma that we didn't know that it was going to come about. You know what I'm saying? It
Mm.
could be with love. It could be dealing with, being an adult. No one prepares you to be an adult. Besides paying bills, no one prepares you for the day-to-day life lessons that being an adult comes with. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You always even say that. There's no manual book for being a parent. There's no manual book for being a husband, a wife, or anything like that. So most of the time, we will look towards our family, you know what I mean, or our peers, and we say, yo, I want to be like that person, or I want to do that. So I'm not going to say all the way that it's because of your childhood trauma, but I am going to say it comes from trauma. The
Mm-hmm.
mess that
Mm-hmm.
you're going through is coming from trauma. And it could be coming from trauma that you have caused, which now trickles down, like you said, meet the childhood trauma. Like, oh, okay, so you're going through this because you have abandonment issues. Now, when you go back, the abandonment issue comes from your childhood, but it also has something to do with your adulthood abandonment. You know what I mean? Abandonment issue. You know, so
Do
I'm
you
gonna.
believe that sometime some at some point in your life you have to heal your inner child?
Yes, I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I think that you do have to heal your inner child. I do think that you can't allow your inner child to
Now,
define.
is overstanding when we sit and we say healing your inner child, it doesn't always mean that your inner when you was a child, your younger spirit, your younger soul had to go through traumatic stuff. You understand? It doesn't mean that. Some kids have to heal because their parents got a divorce and that shit really fucked with them. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's inner child healing is different.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel that you have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge what you have gone through before, especially if it's a death of a parent, a death of a friend. You have to acknowledge that healing and you have to heal from it to be able to sit and deal with the new traumas that's going to be put on you, which is the adult trauma. Sometimes we can't handle the adult trauma that we go through with the stuff that we don't know is because we didn't witness it when we was younger. Not all adult trauma, but some of it we didn't have and when I say we is many people, we didn't have that example to sit and deal with the adult trauma because we are around adults all the time. Even when we're younger, we are
Mm-hmm.
around adults all the time, but sometimes the village is just you I gotta think of a nicer word to say. Sometimes you're not in the right village. Sometimes you're not born in the right village. So I do
Mm-hmm.
feel that you have to acknowledge what it is that causes you maybe to be a little um inconsiderate with certain things or to be a little hard or people will say cold-hearted with certain things. I believe you have to heal whatever trauma you have that's not gonna trigger you to be petty.
Mm-hmm. I think. Well, let me see something. If you know, you know. Say, preach somebody. Pass the collection plate around for this one. And then Deacon Comedy said, "Not so much heal, but forgive your inner child. Never
Mm.
mind, heal is accurate. Yeah. So healing, and I think, like you said, because I really like. I don't have any like childhood trauma, like you said, type of thing. But then you have things like you said as adults that have happened, and dealing with divorce, your parents' divorce, and stuff like that. But the first thing, like you said, is actually addressing and knowing where certain things come from. You know what I'm saying, and why
Mhm.
you do certain things. And I feel like now is uh, it's becoming more. Open for people to talk about certain things and talk about their heart, whether within therapy or within friends,
Mhm.
and to start talking a bit about different things. But then, like the way I might have felt, the way I felt about my parents' divorce when it happened to where I feel now, I can understand it now to where then I really wasn't
Didn't
in
have
the
an
mindset to,
understanding.
yeah, I
Mhm.
didn't really have the mindset to understand everything that was going on. So in my eyes, I only saw it one way, but I didn't understand my parents' way. And then at the same time, it wasn't the time or the place for us as kids or whoever,
Mhm.
young adults to have that conversation. It wasn't about that. It wasn't about that. Okay, we can say, hey, I think it's somebody's being selfish and this and that, but at the same time, um, what about their happiness? You know what I mean? And,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
things like that. But you learn that as you grow.
As you
But
grow.
then after you learn that, you still have to heal from that because you might have held in so many things and,
Mhm.
and and did so much that you got to heal. And then as you're healing, time is going. New relationships are going, and you're like, everybody's doing this, and I'm still holding on to this, and y'all already here.
Mhm.
Whatever the situation may be. You know what I'm saying? You can get a divorce and you can be, dang, I'm divorced, and see who your spouse is, and they can be moved on with somebody else. Like, dang, how you there? And I'm still here. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So
Mhm.
that's healing that has to go ahead and, that has to happen to do that. Deacon said, do you believe that you're not born? Do you believe you're not born in the right village? Do you believe that you're not born into the right village?
I
Um,
believe that we never know where, what, and who are we gonna be born into. I believe God puts us in the positions that we need to be put in, and we got to learn how to deal with it, right? And one thing I know is we do not know from the time our spirit enters this physical form. We know, but it's a reset. And when we're born, we don't know our parents is gonna be crackheads. You understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We don't know that the mother's gonna be abusive. We born and we don't know that the father could have been rapist. We're not born knowing automatically once we come out the vagina that my mother is a rape victim. Like we're not born into stuff like that. And one thing I've learned with my healing journey, you understand, good brunching, my love. One thing I've learned with my healing journey is I do not know, I didn't know, I know now, but I didn't know what my mom went through before I got here. I don't know what my dad went through before I got here. All I know is what I've been seeing from the time my eyes was able to see and my brain was able to remember stuff. That's all I know. So it's like, we have to, not that we have to, but I do recommend that, when we sit and we have things going on in our life, divorce, death in the family, losing a job, we have to really sit down and see the way I reacted before. Is it gonna make me better? And what was the reason why I used to act this way or why I act this way? Really sit down with yourself and have those conversations with yourself, and it's okay. Because again, we only go by what's taught to us, and it's only up to us to unlearn it and learn something else. And it's not easy to learn something else. That's why you think people don't like to go to school. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, I can't. But that's just a part of the journey, because you have to be healed, you have to let go of a lot. You could forgive, but you don't have to forget. And forgiving is not meaning forgetting, and forgiving doesn't mean reconciliation. You don't have to reconcile with people, and you don't have to sit and interact with people because you forgave them. The forgiving is a spiritual thing. You understand what?
Mm-hmm.
It's to heal your spirit. You healing for your inner self and your inner child, and you're forgiving the rapist, or you forgiving the abuser, or you forgiving your parents for not knowing better, for you to be able to deal with the outer mess that you're dealing with when it comes to life. That's just
Mm-hmm.
my opinion and how I see it.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, I'm gonna
Okay.
say, as far as the question came up, as for do we feel as though we're born into the right village? I think that we're born into the village that, like Mika said, that God wanted us to be in. Because sometimes we may be the gift for the person that's going through it, and then also
Mm-hmm.
it may be able to teach us, how to deal with things on a later basis. However, it's not meant for you to stay in that village as well, and it's
Mm-hmm.
build your village. A lot of times, people, and we talked about this before, you can't pick your relatives, but you can pick your family. So,
Mm-hmm.
when I was born into this world, Tamika wasn't in my village. Bill wasn't in my village. But guess what? They're in my village now on an adult level because my
Mm-hmm.
village has um, or expanded, shall I say, past what I was born into. I was born into the relative village. Now I'm into my family village, and I handle
Mm-hmm.
those who I consider family. So, I'm not gonna say that we were not, because that would be, I think that would be a mark against what we think the Creator put us here for. So I'm gonna say yes, you were born into the right village because you don't know the reason why. You
We're born. God allows that everybody has the calling, but not everybody's chosen, right?
right,
Mm-hmm.
God
right,
will sit and allow us to sit and be born, and with the hopes, because what's one thing I always say too, God gave us freedom of will. If God had the chance, he does have the chance, but he's a man of his word. But he doesn't tell us and doesn't control us to say, come to me. And if it was like that, everybody will be very godly and heavenly and angelly and saintly. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You have to, breaking generational curses is real. Breaking generational curses is real. And God allows us to continue and be born into these villages with the hopes of maybe it's going to be you that's going to break it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, it wasn't you. He fell for it. We got to try again. We have to, we have to know that there's people out here that have good hearts, but is weak minded, right? Their heart is good, but their mental is not right. And that their mental was really leads them to the drugs or leads them to sit and think and behave the way they may have a good heart, but here is not right, and sometimes God gives us that opportunity to sit and say, all right, spirit, or this soul, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to take hold of this flesh. I need you to heal this village. Heal this village. All right, yo, I got it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. But then you fall into the trap. It happens. So we're always born. I feel God always puts us in the position to us to lead. Everybody, we're all leaders. And God gives us the opportunity to lead and to break things that shouldn't be, And if you the weakest link, you're the weakest link. You're not. Everybody has the calling, but not everybody's chosen.
I hear you. Well, Deacon said, I believe that we were born where we were supposed to be. We deal with what we're supposed to deal with. And now how I deal is up to me. But he knows and sends us a comforter to deal with those supporting factors.
Not in progress.
Auntie said, I realize as I'm getting older, there are some things that I am dealing with better than others. That's a fact. And then he said, definitely, we are the solution to someone else's trials. Our daily walk is to find the solution to our trials. So that's deep. That was deep. Thank you, Deacon, for sending that in. But I think I got another. Hold on. This is a good one right here. Meek brother. So hold on. Everyone doesn't know what to do with their calling. I think he said everyone
And
doesn't know, and I feel like that's what we have to. That's what you have to find and figure that out. And it takes time. I think
it
it
takes time,
really
and
takes
that's
it takes
all of
time.
when you don't know, when you don't have an understanding of what your calling is, and everybody's calling is not the same. Is putting yourself in that position to know, what, I know I have a calling, and I have to learn my calling. So when you're in that position to where you're losing your mind, and now you got to find your soul, right? Because usually, most of the time, everybody don't know their calling, and they have to go through something to realize, what, this is my calling. This is what I want to do. Whether it's like a person like myself that's a spiritual advisor and I like to tap in and tune into spirit, or your calling is you need to make sure everybody gets to work on time and you're a good as bus driver. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody's calling is different. You have to put yourself in the position to know that you have to find how to overstand your calling. You got to learn it. It's up to you to go search and find and do it. I tell everybody, I practice Yoruba. I have my faith. And this is something that I was tapped into since I was 14. When I was 14, did I find did I stay in the same church? No. Did I stay in the same spiritual house? No. I went to 3, 4 different churches, then 3, 4 different spiritual houses until I found my one. It's not gonna come to you, but you have to make sure you're doing the work and you're listening to you and you have an understanding. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then you gotta figure out what makes sense to you. Everybody don't know their calling, but you have to sit and make the effort and the commitment and be consistent to learn it.
Right,
And
because
sometimes you have to try 50 things before you could sit and actually find it.
right, that's how I felt with my calling, because I use my calling helped me find my purpose, and because when I thought my calling was being a stripper. I did, and when I got there, everybody
Hold on
started
to
laughing
it.
at me.
What?
And I was like, well, then maybe I'm meant to make people laugh. So I got into comedy, and that was my purpose. But my calling was to first take off my clothes for women to laugh and say, ha, 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 put those bones away. My God.
Yo, bro, I didn't know you was gonna get okay. Everybody's story
Heard
comes out.
you.
You know what? I
Heard
forgot
you.
what we do here.
Listen.
We listen
We
and we
listen and
don't
we don't
judge.
judge.
Let me
The
find out. We
brunching
were just
confession. The
yeah.
brunching
Come on, give it up.
confession.
Give it up. The Brunchin confession. Uh, my mom said you find your calling by building a relationship with God and asking for guidance.
Land in
That's
progress.
so that's real because I'm like at this point that's where I get to the point like look what do you want me to do? It gets to the point, especially when you get to the adult, and you feel like, where do you want me to be? Where am I supposed to go? You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
feel like even like what I'm doing now with the comedy and stuff like that, like I know me doing the joy that I get when I do like these church, just comedy in general. But I want my comedy to not only be funny, but to be impactful, have that message with it, and you leave with something you feel good. I love to, to get that, and like doing these churches and being able to talk to people that would look at me and be like, "Oh no, I wasn't looking to dress like everybody else and did everything else, but know that I know the same God that you know, and I can go ahead and show you that, you know, it's okay to look like this and still know God and do the things that I go ahead and do. And once you go ahead and do that, and once you find your purpose and you walk in that, it's even hard when you're walking in your purpose because there's hard times that gotta go ahead and come in that. So we definitely gotta you know, find your purpose and then understand, enjoy the process. I think a lot of people, you know, feel like they want to get ahead and I want to be here, whatever within their purpose, but they don't want to get ahead and go through the ups and downs and all those things. And I
There's
really
always
believe,
gonna be a storm.
definitely. I think, and
No
Auntie
matter,
said,
you have to know that you have to accept the pain from the past to accept the pain from the future.
mm-hmm.
You always gonna sit and go through something. You're always gonna sit. Oh my God.
Not my
Oh,
God to myself. Ace in your shop.
you have to
Yeah,
always
God was speaking through him.
you
Right.
have to, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like you said, the storm is going to come in. Like you said, if you don't push through it, then you'll never be able to see the sunshine on the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a Tuesday night and it was raining outside. I go into the club, I got on my G-string and everything. Woman says to me, "You back again?" And immediately I felt like I was like, yo, I don't even want to get on stage. But the blessings that came from it was immediately, and oh, my God, come on.
Who is this? Who
Who,
is this? Who
whose
is
man's
this?
is this, y'all? Somebody come get Ace. Somebody come get Ace. He going. I don't know what he going through, but bruh, just, you know. Okay, we gonna move on because
Y'all,
I
y'all
had
said,
something to say.
y'all said this was a listen and don't judge brunching.
We're not
Nah,
judging.
I'm not
Now,
judging you. You
now
said you
I
had the
start
G
to
string
say,
on now,
this is
brother.
why I keep quiet. Because now when I put
But
my heart to
a
y'all,
G-string,
A
every
G.
listen,
Nah,
what
nah.
color
what
was
other
it?
uniform was I supposed to wear?
A police outfit with your
Hey, yo,
chest
and
out.
you out here giving them outfits. You know something? We're gonna move on to the next band of question. Cause yo, he is, Tawana. He is stupid. Okay, he is stupid. So, all right, look, we're gonna get to this one. All right. Meek said like this. She said, "Can you keep it cute while being triggered? Can you keep it cute while being triggered?" Let's talk about this. You know something? I'll go first. I'll go first. Um, if I'm triggered right now, adult Billy is a whole lot better than young Billy would have been when I'm triggered. Now I can get ahead and I don't want to say stay in a situation, but I'll be there. My mood will change. I'm not gonna you won't see Billy as the hey entertainment Billy, but I'm good. I still can smile and do, but I'm gonna chill because I'm triggered right now and I'm trying not to react and try to I don't like to cause any scenes while I'm out or do you know what I mean? I don't want to react or anything like that. So it's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna have to address that trigger later. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it cool. Or honestly, I'm out. I'm good. I'm not gonna cause a scene with it, but I'm out. I'm good. I'm not gonna cause it because if I stay, y'all gonna see old Bill, and then it's gonna be a problem. So I'd rather remove myself from the situation because this trigger is doing something to me that's gonna cause
So
me
when you
to
say
get
remove
unbilly like.
yourself, when you
Uh huh.
say remove yourself, do you mean like leave period or just go to the other side?
What? What do you mean?
So like let's say you're in a situation, let's
Uh huh.
say you're in a party and somebody's there and they're there, you know they're doing something to trigger you. Are you gonna leave, period? Or are you just gonna remove yourself from that area and go somewhere else in the same spot?
Depending what the whole scene is or whatever it is, I might personally leave the entire place. I might go into the other side because now that's causing attention. You get what I'm saying? I can always be at
So
a
now
spot.
would that would if you now let's say you don't leave, but you sit and you go somewhere else to the other side, would that be considered petty?
That I don't think that's petty.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't think it's petty, but I think it's causing attention now because if, as I say, we all in the group. You know what I'm saying? We all in a group. And I think we've all been to somewhere, right? Especially when it comes to couples. We've all been at a place that everybody's coupled up, and you know that one couple that's having problems. You know what I'm saying? Because Keisha over here and Kevin over there. Kevin ain't talking to Keisha. They just separate. They're in the same building, but, something's going on. We can see that. You know what I mean? So right now, it might not be outspoken, noticing, but it might be in the group chat like, yo, you see Keisha? What's wrong with them? Everything good? Or I might text you like, yo, Ace good? Like, you see, you know what I'm saying?
So
So that's causing
I'm
attention.
gonna give an example
Okay.
of where I was called petty, right? And I just felt I kept it cute. All right. I felt
But
I
hold on,
kept
before
it
you tell that,
cute.
hold on. When Auntie just said, when triggered, it depends on trigger. But I've learned from Ace, being petty could be a good thing. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So this was a time and it was a place where I always go way before I met people. You understand? This was a situation where something was being celebrated in a location with somebody that's mutual friends, with somebody that did something to me. And when I see them is kind of a trigger, right? So I was at this place and me at the place, the person comes in, and when the person comes in, they
The
tell me,
trigger,
yo,
the
such
trigger, the
the
trigger person
triggers,
comes in?
the trigger
Okay.
person comes in and they go, yo, such and such is here. And I go, okay, right? Instead of, nah, fuck that. I don't want to be here. I didn't. I said, okay, that's fine. So now, mutual friends, of course, we have the whole section, we have the whole area, comes in, they say hi to everybody, then they come to say hi to me. I go, hello. But now I don't give the, oh my God, what's up? How are you? I'm like, hey, what's up? How are you? Oh, so now it's like that. So that's the reaction. Oh, now you're
That's a
not
poke.
talking to me. I said, hello, how are you? They were like that. Oh, but then, and that's so what I did was I said, you want me to react in a way like, nigga, what the fuck you want? You want me to sit here and say hi to you after you did da da da? I'm not gonna do that. Hello, how are you? I pray all is well. I got up from the section that we was in and I just went somewhere else. I stood there. I still enjoyed myself. I ordered my food. Like, no, I ain't eating without my food. I ate
Me
my
gonna eat.
food and I enjoyed myself. Everybody said I was petty for leaving the area. I don't feel I was petty. I feel I kept it cute. I didn't sit and give the reaction that he would have wanted, or I didn't sit and allow nobody to know what you did to me to trigger me the way you're expecting me to be triggered. You understand? So it's like I kept it cool. Like, nah, it's good. But why you acting? I'm not acting no way. I shouldn't, deep down inside, I shouldn't even be telling you God bless you. But I am, because I forgive you. I do forgive you and I don't wish nothing bad on you, but I'm not cool with you.
Yeah, we're not there no more.
We're not there anymore,
But see, I
so
think the most important thing that you said was you moved yourself from somewhere else, right? But the thing that was important is that you still had a good time. Because I
right.
feel like when people remove themselves and now they're just there existing and not having a good time, I feel that's the problem. Not for them, but for yourself. That's why I'd rather just leave if I know I
hmm
can't have a good time. Because I didn't come here for that. I didn't come here for the drama. I didn't come here for
And
any of
then
that.
on top of that, it wasn't like if I left the area and just stood it there. I was going back and forth, right?
Oh, so
I was going back and
you were just
forth.
in and out.
I was still interacting, but I didn't stay there. You
Okay.
understand? I ended up, and two people will come here and there, go back and forth, but I didn't just stay in that one section. I just kept back coming back and forth because, of course, while I would go there and I'm there for maybe 10 minutes, I'm getting the, but what's good, and it's like, nigga, like you really trying to sit and get me to that point. So I will sit and I
Yeah,
will remove myself,
yeah. Cause they all
go
in
do
your
what I do,
face
and
while
then
you
come
over
back.
there.
Yeah. Just,
Yeah.
you playing in my face, dude, just doing the playing in the face. So I feel I kept it cute in that situation. I don't feel I was being petty. Me being petty would have been
Giving them the reaction that they was looking
giving him the reaction, or me staying there and still like, look at this bitch ass, like doing stuff like that. I feel that would
Yeah.
have been petty. Or me staying and going to the other section, but I'm still looking over there and I'm
You
making a
grilling
show.
everybody. Yeah, you make. Yeah, you turn. You make a thing.
Yeah.
Auntie said
So
you just removed yourself from the triggering environment, and that's
Right.
just it. That's just
Right.
it. But
And
go ahead.
sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. Because I remember like one time this lady at a show, and we've all had. Well, I'm not gonna say we all. I've had this happen before, but not to this kind of like you said. It triggered me because of the simple fact it was it's like, dang, you just making a poke. So a lady saw me, and I was at a show. The lady that booked me was like, "Oh, we're gonna get started in such time," and I was like, "All right, cool." And then a lady came over and she was like, "Hey, how are you?" Like she pokes me like in my my back, like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Good." I don't recognize this lady. I'm like, "Hey, good." She's like, "Oh." She's like, "I see you put on a couple of pounds, a little muscle," and I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then she was like, she's like, "Is this the guy performing?" And her friend said yes. And she was like, "Yeah, you were horrible last time I saw you." She was like, "You were not funny at all." Now, of course, because of the like, I'm here to perform. I'm here to do, comedy. And you're telling the person that just booked me, like, yo, he was terrible last time. You get what I'm saying? So I was kind of triggered, like you said. I kept it cute as we're talking about. And my bad.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, no problem. So I go ahead and I perform. I do good. And I was like, yo, the lady says to me, like, thank you, you were very professional, appreciate it. And then that over, like, oh, you were so much better this time. I can't, I can't believe it. I will recommend you now. And I'm like, yo, like, are you looking for me to say something back? You know what I mean? But at the
So
same
what
time,
triggered you that she didn't like you?
no, I think what triggered me was me hearing that you were not funny.
So what did that trigger you to do though?
I guess it triggered me to perform better, like, because it was like now I was out to perform
Yeah.
so like every time I did a joke, I was looking to see if she laughed.
Mm-hmm.
You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Now you got a point to prove now.
Right. But
I don't think that. I don't
How
think
would the
that's a.
old
I
A's
don't
would
think
have
that.
reacted?
Yeah.
right.
Like okay.
Oh,
That's when I can say is it a trigger? That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Go
right.
ahead.
I would have reacted like, who are you to judge or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But I've learned that comedy is subjective. In the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
my thing was everybody should find me funny. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should find me funny. Then I realized that comedy is subjective. But I brought that up because like Tamika said, I kept it, as we say, cute. I kept it cool. Like, I'm not gonna let your words bother me. But deep
Mm-hmm.
down, it bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Me in that situation, what would have bothered me is you talking shit, B in front
Right,
of the lady that booked me. That
right.
would have been my trigger. And
Mm-hmm.
then I would have had to be like, So I'm like, bitch, mind your motherfucking business. Like, I would have just, what's wrong with you? Why you doing that? But then, you got to keep it cute sometimes. Got to be professional.
Yeah. I think growth is great, and especially when you got to deal with people as much people that we deal with, and even in our own interpersonal
Hmm.
relationships, family relationships, friendships, you know um, it's growth is and then being open, and then I think the biggest thing with all of this is being able to one um be aware of what you're going through and acknowledge it, and then
Hmm.
also take accountability of the things that that what did you have to do with on your side. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? You got to take accountability for some of the things that you do as well. So we got to take that's got to come into play. But before we go, we're gonna let Meek. Uh, she hasn't done it in a while. Hold on, let's see what this is right here. Trey said, "Would you guys agree that triggers are necessary?"
I do agree that triggers are necessary because I do believe those triggers are tests from God to see how you're going to react to it. So I
Hmm.
do feel that triggers are very necessary and we will continue on having those triggers. And a lot of those triggers will be the storms that we go through. And it's
Hmm.
all about how you deal with it. And God is making sure, because this is what you're going to go through. And you might go through this again and it just might be 10 times worse.
Hmm.
How you going to deal with it. So I do feel triggers are necessary.
Yeah,
So
definitely. And they
I
said we live in a world where growth means you're acting funny. Yeah, and
Right.
I agree with that. And
And you know
you acting
what? The
funny.
best thing in the world is laughter. The best healing in the world is laughter. So if I'm acting funny, I'm making you laugh. I feel sick. You gotta deal with it.
Unless now, when you getting laughed at, like those women did.
Now
Yeah, now you got if you get laughed at. But see, I think what he just said about the whole do triggers are triggers necessary? I think the triggers have to be necessary because of the fact of one, you can tell where you're at. You can tell where you're at in the situation by those triggers. Because once the trigger no longer affects you, then you can say you've healed from it and you've gotten there. If you see the trigger, if the trigger happens, let's say now, right? You're gonna have a certain reaction to it. By the time, let's say this trigger comes up 2 months from now, I would believe, hopefully, if you've been doing what you got to do to grow, that the reaction is different. You know, the trigger is different. The way the impact is different because there's growth to it. But I think sometimes we need to be smacked with the triggers to see reality to help us to be able to grow and move on from whatever it is. Sometimes, I talked about it there. I was like, you gotta. I know I speak for myself. I'm one of those that I know things are gonna hurt, but I need to feel that pain to get ahead and be able to get ahead and move on. You get what I'm saying? I'd rather feel it and know it rather than to think it. Like, nah, I need to know.
I'd
to hear
rather
you
go through
tell
the
me.
pain. I'd rather go through the pain and overcome it than stay in it.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, hey, I want to face everything head on. You know what I'm saying? I think
Face
that's
it
the
and just get it over with and deal with it and know that I don't want to feel this again and I'm gonna do everything in my power to my best to not go through it again. And I know I don't have control. I just have to maintain it.
Yeah.
Maintain what I don't have control of.
Yeah. And then Trey said, facts, but I think they define you and it's a level of reality on where you really are on your own journey. So for sure, I think it's necessary, 100% good stuff. And then he said good stuff. Appreciate you tuning in, bro. Appreciate you tuning in. So before we get to close out, we're gonna let Meek give us our Meditation Tuesday, give us some inspiration for the rest of our week. So we're gonna get Meek ready. You good, Meek? You there? You
I'm
hear
good.
yourself?
Can you hear me? You guys can hear me?
You can hear. I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. I know you're gonna be complaining in a second. Hold on.
Does it sound like it's overpowering? It sounds good.
I hear you perfectly.
Okay.
All right.
So
You're not gonna see
before
your
we
face, but here we
sit,
go.
it's okay. You guys can hear me because I'm on my phone. One, this is an emotional one for me, and it's an emotional one for everybody. The kids are in spring break. Today is Taco Tuesday, and today was originally the day that our brother Ty was supposed to come visit us for Taco Tuesday at the strap hangers. So I start this off with, they say if God brought you to it, God will walk you through it. Even if your heels wobble and your heart is still sore. Even if you cry between bites of avocado toast or check your phone hoping for a sorry that will never come. This is for the ones healing from heartbreak and high chairs. Divorce papers and diner tables that never felt safe. The ones rebuilding from family wounds while still showing up to the group chat like everything is cool. It's okay to be triggered. That don't mean you ain't healing. Ooh. It means your body still remembers and what your spirit is trying to release. Breathe through it. Protect your peace like it's your last bite of pancakes. Set boundaries. Set boundaries like brunch reservations. Sorry, I'm not available for that kind of energy anymore. This table is for the ones moving in faith and not fear. For the soft girls with sharp minds and for the men choosing healing over hiding. For the ones who pray with sass and the journey with a side eye. So bring your breakthrough and bring your broken pieces. Bring your belly laughs and your Bible verses here. We brunch with God, growth, and grace. We love you, Ty. And I love everybody here that watches us every day. I pray for all of us every day. And we don't have control, but all we could do is maintain. Good brunching, everybody.
See what you did? See what you did there? See what you did there? See what you did there? Oh, man. Well, good brunching, y'all. We didn't mean to get ahead and do that, but yeah, just wanted to get that out, man. Shout out to my man Ty. We, definitely miss you. We love you. I know you showed up last night on the Say This Sunday podcast.
Word.
Not even knowing how you showed up for us last night. So definitely my prayers go out to the Grady family. His kids, his mother, sister, just the whole family.
Right.
I just want to pray for them, man. We lost a real good dude, and we're gonna get through it. You know what I mean?
We're gonna get through it. What he said. That's what he said.
And that's the last thing you said to us and stuff like that, and that's just real. But I just tell everybody, man, whatever it is, try to talk to people, man. And you going through things, man. Find somebody, find an outlet, find a person,
find a safe space,
therapy. Find a safe space for you to get ahead and go and speak. And it's okay not to be good, And I think that's the main thing is when people, are real with themselves and say, "Yo, I'm not good right now." Yeah, I'm coming. I'll be out there for the funeral. I'll be out there for the funeral. I'm not sure if I'm coming Friday or Saturday, but I'll be out there. Definitely for sure. I'm not gonna miss that. So I'll definitely be in the building. Yeah, and it's good, bro. If you know, like you say, you're not okay. Neither are we. We got to take this thing one day at a time. We got to talk
one day at a time,
and we just got to know, what Ty wanted us to do, and as well. I mean, we gotta keep living, and that's something that he wanted. And the thing that I'm happy with and gives me comfort is that I know his relationship with God and who he was. So it's a lot. And then I know for y'all family right now, y'all got like 4 funerals that y'all dealing with right now. So it's heavy. He said the last 3 years I've lost my mom, my grandmother, and my grandfather, and my best friend. Yeah, I know. Life is real, man. Life is real, and it's fragile and stuff. And we just got to make sure that we live and live every day.
Just keep watering your cup. Keep lifting your spirit. Nobody could lift your spirit but you.
And protect your peace.
And protect your peace to protect your purpose.
I promise
your purpose is your purpose.
That's a fact. Y'all definitely got to do that. But look, man, I appreciate this show. We appreciate this show. We wish we could be doing it every day. Having shows like this is definitely needed. We missed y'all. We definitely be back. If y'all don't know, on Mother's Day, the day before, May 10th, I will be in Paterson, New Jersey with Miss Shay and Sean Harvey. So please come out May 10th. To that event, and I'm also have a Sunday, Save This Sunday, third Sunday brunch comedy show that's going on at Medley's on May 18th. I will put the information out soon. We got comedian Monique Latisse and Brian Isley coming out for that, and hosted by yours truly. So we definitely doing something dope, something new, nice, clean comedy show. But we're gonna talk about everything because it's Save This, because you know how we do. But on behalf of your boy Bill the Billionaire, Tamika Royale, and Ace Brown, we thank y'all for tuning in. And we will see y'all next week. Enjoy the rest of y'all week. Be great. And like I said, it's good brunching. We're going to holler at y'all. Be good. Peace.
Good brunchin'. A good brunchin'. A good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. 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 Everybody. Good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin